Welcome to Super Tuesday. It is presented by Progressive. You're watching the SEC here on ESPN. We're inside one of the cathedrals of college basketball, and it's senior night here at Rupp Arena as the 19th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats take on the LSU Tigers. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Custer alongside my partner Damian Fishback and Fish. Final week of the regular season. SEC tournament tips off next week, and tonight, crucial game, especially when you talk about the seedings for that tournament for Kentucky.
Yeah, all of them are big this time of the year, but always a little special on senior night. You combine that with the fact that the Kentucky Wildcats need rest. They want that bye. And LSU and Matt McMahon, well, they're trying to get this program going in the right direction.
And trying to get to 500 with a victory. Let's talk about players to watch for both squads.
Well, we got a couple of guards here, right? The transfer from Kansas State, Cam Carter. Last couple of road games, he had 26 points. Beautiful outing, shooting much better from behind the three-point line. And then Otega Owe doing it his way. He struggled in the last game, got an early third foul, but we know what he can do coming off an Oklahoma game where he scored the last 18 points. He'll be critical for the Wildcats tonight.
122nd meeting between these programs is a series that dates back all the way to 1933. And it's the Wildcats who control the tip here in the home white. And right off, they get it to Amari Williams. Extra pass, but it is stolen by the Tigers. Here comes Cam Carter. We take a look at their starting five. Robert Miller, the freshman, getting the start with Victorious. Miller out. First shot, no good. Tip, and here comes Otega Owe in Kentucky. And of course, Kentucky will play without Jackson Robinson with that wrist injury. He's going to have surgery on that tomorrow. That shot is no good. Rebound comes to Robert Miller III.
Not a surprise. Looks like you see some nerves from the Kentucky Wildcats early. That typically happens for seniors, realizing it's their last time to play at this arena.
6 seniors on senior night, and the first 2 dunked home by Robert Miller III.
Yeah, Robert Miller III, 6'10", 220-pound freshman out of Houston, Texas. They have 2 bigs that can really get up and down the floor and are extremely athletic.
Cutting to the basket was Mont Butler, missed the layup, but the 3. Owe is no good. Take a look. Matt McMahon now in his 3rd season with LSU. You know, this is his 10th year as a head coach. Hey, look, he's back home too. What, 7 years at Murray State? He said he got a nice little contingent here coming to see him.
Yeah, he's got some of his family here as well. Think about a man who won 30-plus games at Murray State. Coached the likes of a Ja Morant. He's accustomed to winning. I like the fact that LSU's giving him time to build the program in the right way.
Here's Carter. We're going to need him to have a special night tonight. Misses that one. Rebound Williams. And here comes Butler. Brea, he can shoot it. Good. That's the guy you do not want to get hot. There's Coach Poe. Kentucky with that 1-point lead. His first season here at his alma mater. Remember, he was the captain of that 96 national team for Kentucky. Has had 6 of the last 7 seasons. He's won 20 or more games. When you talk about BYU, Utah Valley, and looking to win number 20 here tonight for Kentucky.
Yeah, if he were able to get this win, it'd be his 7th career win where he had 20 seasons or 20 wins or more. And right now, this is what Matt McMahon was concerned about, the transition from the Wildcats. They're playing with pace, which is the first thing that Mark Pope said they wanted to get back to.
Here's Owe. Drives, lays it in.
Too easy. You got to show more resistance. And Matt McMahon, head coach for LSU, told us that. He said, if you allow Kentucky to do what they want to, they'll run you out of the gym. Mark Pope is an offensive assassin.
Owe feeds off of unranked opponents. He's averaging about 17, shooting about 51% from the field against unranked opponents. That pass deflected and stolen by Amari Williams. No look dime to Carr. Missed the dunk. Here comes Jai Bailey. Carter now with it. Pull up. No good by Miller.
Yeah, we talked about Kentucky being a little nervous. You know, when you talk about Miller, LSU still a young team. Kind of seemed like deer in headlights right now. Huge arena, 20,000 people. First time at Rupp Arena. I think it's an advantage for either team that can continue to get off to a fast start.
They give it to Carr from the baseline. Knocks it down. It's a free.
Kentucky averaging 9.63 three-pointers per game in conference play. You cannot allow them to continue to do that if you're the Tigers.
Miller, the triple, top of the key. No. Rebound Williams. Carr again, the triple. Williams, a follow count in. It is senior night here at Rupp, and they're up 8 early. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And in part by McDonald's. Senior night here at Rupp Arena. 6 seniors were honored before the game. Jackson Robinson, Kobe Brea, Lamont Butler, Amari Williams, Andrew Carr, and Ansley Almanor. What have they done? Well, all they've done is accounted for 67% of the points this season for the Wildcats. Nearly 60% of their rebounds.
Yeah, it really signifies how college basketball has changed. I mean, the fact that Mark Pope got this job and he was able to bring the guy you just saw with that wrist injury, Jackson Robinson, you know, how he assembled this basketball team was really special, right? Mitch Barnhart, I thought, made a terrific hire. You think about following the footsteps of a guy like Coach Cal, who's a Hall of Fame coach, a national championship coach, multiple Final Fours. I think Mark Pope has done a sensational job in getting the right guys together, winning the games that they're supposed to win, and trying to overcome the health injuries that they've had.
Wildcats have gone on an 11-0 run here with a pass, 2:20. They've opened up an 11-2 lead. Here's Cam Carter. He'll pull up. Short. Carr the rebound. Here comes Otega Owe. From the foul line. It gets the home touch roll.
Well, so now Kentucky's comfortable. And so what you noticed in the game versus Auburn, that the Auburn Tigers made them uncomfortable for 40 minutes of play. And Coach Matt McMahon of LSU is correct. You can't allow them to do this offensively. And then on this end, they've got to get some guys going. You look for Cam Carter to try to be aggressive here offensively.
Miller from the high post, good cut by Carter. Shot rejected at the rim by Carr. Oh! And the finish by Butler.
Young fella.
13-point lead for the Wildcats. Much needed bucket by LSU. Mike Williams, who is streaky, knocks it down.
That's exactly what you want to see from Coach Matt McMahon. Maybe that will settle the LSU Tigers and help them dig into this lead, but they've got to get some stops defensively.
Williams with 5 on the shot clock. Turns. Little jump hook is no good.
This pace is perfect for the Kentucky Wildcats right now. They're running when they want to. They're turning LSU into a half-court team. I think the game's got to get faster for the LSU Tigers to have an opportunity.
Oway to Butler. He draws that one on Givens.
Anytime you're able to get stops on the defensive end, and a nice block, good help that time by Andrew Carr. Otega Oway, what we call the throw-ahead pass, and Lamont Butler with the beautiful finish. Go upstairs, the left shoulder's hurting a little bit, but the right one is just fine.
Yeah, Butler told us he's about 85%. He's missed about 8 games this season because of that shoulder. He also had an ankle.
This is what I'm interested to see. You got guys like Travis Perry, Angela Almanor, and Trent Noah in the basketball game. What happens when Carr and Lamont Butler goes out?
Here's Noah with the rock right now. Almanor hands it off to Noah. Shot clock expires, and Brandon Garrison knocks it down.
What do you think? Did he call that one? That smile on his face.
Said he didn't. 18-4. Oh, good tape. Cleaning it up in Jai Bailey.
Yeah, Jai Bailey's one of those glue guys for LSU. You see his point production, 8 points, 4 rebounds, but he defends, he rebounds, he makes the right plays. Matt McMahon loves his contributions to the Tigers team.
Noah. No good. Here comes Bailey. Jordan Sears has checked in for the Tigers as well. Driving and hammering it down is Mike Williams III.
What a response. Mike Williams III attacking the basket as you would expect him to see.
Perry shot blocked. And here comes Damian Collins, hanging and banks it home. And here comes the Tigers now.
And that's what we said earlier. The transition game for LSU was critical. We also wanted to see what happened when the substitutions occurred from Kentucky.
It's now just an 8-point lead when we come back. The Fish Awards. But first, how about LSU and these Tigers on a 6-0 run?
Well, if we had to give a dunk award, him and Lamont Butler would be neck and neck. Big time finish by number 2, Mike Williams III out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Inside Rupp Arena, we've played about 8.5 here in the first half, and it's LSU on a 6-0 run. Over the weekend, they gave out the Oscars. Tonight, it's time to give out the Fish Awards for the SEC.
Well, we'll start with Janai Broome, one of the most efficient players in all of college basketball. I think he will be a candidate for National Player of the Year. Trey Johnson, man, how about the numbers he's putting up? Blake Harper, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper putting up numbers outside of the conference, but Trey Johnson wins that award. Caleb Grill, competitive for the Sixth Man of the Year, but he gets it. And then Jemai Mashack, Defensive Player of the Year. He was neck and neck with his teammate, Zakai Ziegler. And then Newcomer of the Year, we got 2 great ones right here, Cam Carter, but Amari Williams. The numbers that he has been putting up this year per 40 minutes in points, assists, and rebounds is the 5th most in Division I. I think he's the Newcomer of the Year, makes the biggest impact when he distributes, blocks shots, and scores. Yeah,
he's got 10 double-doubles so far on the season, as well as the Tigers come up with a steal. Corner 3, that one's short. Damian Collins on that offensive glass with the rebound. They'll reset. Here's Williams, who had that thunderous dunk. Back to Collins. His triple's no good. Oway with the board.
This is a tug of war right now. For Kentucky, you want to close the door. You don't want to allow the LSU Tigers to get any confidence. And for LSU, you just want to continue to hang around, try to make 20,000 nervous here at Rupp Arena.
And they're going to call an offensive foul on Otega Oway. Don't forget, Super Tuesday continues tonight We're on ESPN. You talked about your alma mater, #1 Auburn. They're in College Station taking on Wade Taylor. And Texas A&M, that's at 9 Eastern. And then you got the duel in the desert. Arizona and Arizona State.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting rematch between Arizona and Arizona State. Arizona dominated the glass, and Arizona State had 12 threes in that previous matchup. It'll be intense, as well as the Auburn-Texas A&M game.
Guy Bailey. Devin Williams with 5 now on the shot clock. Bailey behind the back, tried to throw a dime, cutting into the lane was Derek Fountain, but it's knocked away and taken by the Wildcats.
Nice job by Sears to make sure he didn't allow Kobe Brea to get that three-point shot off.
Here's the three. It's good. Ansley Almanor.
Almanor has been prolific when it comes to shooting the trifecta in SEC play. Teams have been trying to get underneath him a little bit more here of late, though.
Here's Williams. The Fountain. Too strong. Oh, right down the lane is Otega Oweh.
Matt McMahon wanted to carry that time by Otega Oweh, but the defense was just terrible that time by the LSU Tigers. You've got to get back, and he told us he was concerned about the Tigers in defensive transition.
Inside 10 minutes until the half. Another turnover by the Tigers. Here's Butler. Almanor missed it all. That three.
The Kentucky Wildcats averaging over 85 points per game, and one of the reasons is the way that they share the sugar. They move the basketball, and then that wasn't a carry at all. That was just Matador defense that time by Mike Williams III. He's got to do a better job of staying in front of the basketball. Nice move by Otega Oweh.
Here's Jordan Sears. And throws it away. Oweh.
Got to get a timeout. Got to get a timeout if you're Matt McMahon. And let's remind our viewers, Jalen Reed out. Corey Chess out of the game. Victorious Miller out, injured as well. But LSU's got to show more resistance than this here on the road.
Wildcats on a 7-0 run right now. Here's Derek Fountain. That shot rejected by Garrison.
Boy, these Wildcats came out hungry. This is the response that you expect if you coach Mark Pope.
Brea.
Got a mismatch inside.
Garrison's asking for it. He's got Sears on him. Oweh. Got it. And the foul.
Outmatched. Outmanned. Otega Oweh getting it done whichever way that he wants to. One of the best transfers in college basketball. Getting out on the break with the nice one-hand finish. And then once he gets it inside, Jordan Sears, you too little. Otega Oweh, do it your way, young fella.
Kentucky Wildcats shooting the basketball 55% from the field, over 40% from three.
Well, one of the reasons is because they're unselfish, and that stems from their head coach. You see the way the ball is just popping, it's moving from side to side. That's what Coach Mark Pope has had at all of his stops. And you think about the offense that they had at BYU last year, the first year in the Big 12, that's what's led to these 4 of 9 three-pointers that they've had. And they've got multiple guys who can knock down the three-pointer. You think about Kobe Brea, he's shooting 44% on the season, even though they don't have one of their best three-point shooters in Jackson Robinson. But you've got Ansley Almanor, who I talked about earlier, shooting 43%. And I think it all starts with Lamont Butler and his ability to penetrate and kick. There's Jackson Robinson right there.
Yeah, 6 different players right now for Kentucky have at least 1 assist. Oweh now with the 11 leading scorer in this game.
But you notice Coach Mark Pope went to the bench. There was a drop-off. the gap was closed, and then he got the starters back in, and it's been extended again. That's a concern for me if I'm Coach Mark Pope in Kentucky.
Givens. Oh, side of the backboard. Williams, away, nice.
Good basketball. Most assists of any 7-footer in college basketball this year. Only player in the SEC with the triple-double this season as well. All right, Williams has been playing fabulous.
Mike Williams fades, knocks down the jumper.
That's good by Williams.
And that's what they need, right? They've got to get something going on the offensive end. At the same time, you've got Kentucky with 30 points. I mean, they're on their way to at least a 40, potentially 50-point half. So you've got to defend and get some stops on this end.
Here comes Lamont Butler. Lost it. Cam Carter.
Good
Extra
basketball.
pass. And Robert Miller dunks it home.
You know, I like the freshmen, and that's what Coach Matt McMahon will have to do in this offseason, make sure they retain Damian Collins and Robert Miller and Victorious Miller. Keep those guys, keep that core there.
It's a different world now in college basketball, especially with that portal. Oh, good alley-oop. Williams dunks it home.
Different world when you're a freshman, Robert Miller going against a graduate senior, Amari Williams. The game's going so fast for LSU right now.
Williams lost it.
Last game, we talked about Kentucky turning it over a little bit. They had 18 turnovers. Not today. They're being strong, physical with the basketball. I like that back cut. And then here's the old school screen and roll. He doesn't throw it down. He realizes he has a big man in number 22 in white. He throws it upstairs to the 7-footer and allows him to finish. Better defense here by the Tigers. Switching screens, there should be a mismatch on the interior, but Derek Fountain does a nice job of getting back.
Williams powers his way to the bucket. Strong rebound by Givens. Here comes Cam Carter now. Carter hangs. Gets it off the glass. That's a guy who's got to get hot here, have a big night for LSU.
He does, but remember what I said earlier? This game's got to go faster for LSU, and the only way it can go faster is if they get stops on this end and get out and run in offensive transitions.
Well, 3 of the association's top teams highlight the ESPN NBA Wednesday doubleheader. 7 Eastern, you got Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs, hosting Tyler Hero and the Heat. Got a pair of teams, though, in the Western Conference squaring off in Memphis, Ja, SGA. You got the Thunder and Memphis. NBA countdown tips off for coverage at 6:30.
Think about Tyler Hero, all the guards that came through here.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, Jamal Murray.
Williams cleans up his own miss. He's got 7.
Just outmatched right now are the LSU Tigers. They have an angry Wildcat on their hand. They're defending better. They look fresh. They're communicating defensively. They're active with their hands and feet.
John Bailey calls the foul, who goes to the line.
The foul is on Williams.
Amari Williams, the transfer from Drexel. One of the reasons why I picked him as the newcomer of the year is because I think his ceiling is so high right now. Now Kentucky's going to be in the NCAA tournament. We don't know what their seed will be. That will depend on the finish and obviously tonight's game, and then they have a road game at Missouri in the SEC tournament. But let's say they're 3, 4, even as low as a 5. I think Amari Williams is one of those guys that when you see him in your bracket, he brings an immediate concern because not only he had that triple-double, but he can hurt you in so many ways on both ends of the floor.
He's got his second foul. It's the reason why he went to have a seat. He also got 10 double-doubles. Second most in the SEC this season. Butler gets the screen from Garrison. He hammers it home.
Garrison. Assist to Butler.
Oklahoma State transfer 6'10", 250 pounds. Will play a huge role come tournament time as well. Gives them a little bit more beef, more grit. Another big man in the rotation, along with Andrew Carr and Amari Williams.
Cam Carter, little runner. No good. Carr the board. Here comes Butler. Kobe Brea. Count it.
Beautiful basketball.
Timeout, LSU. That is the 30-second timeout. Stretching for a quarter.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball. It's presented by Progressive. Brought to you by Ashley for the love of home.
Kev, Sean, and Coach coming up at the half. We'll check in on two notable bubble teams. Georgia looking to stay red hot in South Carolina, and North Carolina, zero margin for error. Zero errors for Kentucky, Sean.
Yeah, and a lot for LSU, in particular at the defensive end of the floor. They've allowed Kentucky to get anywhere they want, where they want to get the ball, and they've executed with a very crisp edge to their offense here in the first.
You know, senior nights go one of two ways. When you have a group of seniors that have had a shared experience, way one is they're so emotional that the first 6-8 minutes they can't even feel the game, or they can use that as motivation to come out, compete, and really be sharp, execute, run the floor, share the basketball, and play good basketball at a high level. I think the latter has happened.
I think you're right. Brian.
You're right, Kevin. Kentucky's shooting 59% from the floor right now, 50% from three. Here's LSU trying to cut into that lead. Get it inside to Miller. Working on Garrison. Little jump hook. Rolls off.
Good set, though, by Matt McMahon. It was a back screen and then a down screen for Cam Carter. Robert Miller just wasn't able to finish.
Garrison, ball fake. To the corner. Three. Good. Everything's dropping. Colin Chandler, the freshman, knocks that one down.
Let's remember, this Kentucky team knocked off the likes of Duke, Gonzaga, Louisville, Texas A&M. They have as good a wins as anybody in college basketball. I wouldn't want to see them in my bracket come March.
But listen, they've got 4 wins over teams that were ranked in the top 5 at one point. That pass intercepted, back the other way. Carter to Fountain. He puts it in.
Once again, if they can get out in transition. If I'm Matt McMahon, listen, the score's already out of hand. I was looking at pressure, changing up the defense, whether that's full court, doing something to increase the pace of this basketball game. As we said, Kentucky had 18 turnovers versus Auburn.
Wide open three, in and out by Carr. 2 minutes until the half. Good ball fake. One dribble pull up, missed. Everything is given. You got to knock down shots as well.
Good patience being displayed here by Kentucky.
Garrison to shoot it. Strong rebound, LSU.
Here we go again.
Miller, there you go. Get it in transition.
You have to if you're LSU. LSU has the advantage from an athletic standpoint and from a speed standpoint. But they're not doing a lot to pressure or turn Kentucky over. But if they continue to get stops, they'll be just fine.
Carr sets the high screen for Chandler. He'll pull it. Knock it down.
A little rust early in the season, a couple of years being away from the game, coming off a mission trip, but he seems like he's clicking on all cylinders. The 2022 Utah Gatorade Player of the Year.
You wouldn't know that he's shooting 20% from three tonight. He's knocked down a couple of triples. Back into Miller. Back to the jump hook. It's no good. Garrison running the floor, lays it in and one.
Mark Pope talked about playing with pace in this basketball game. The way they've been able to do that is limiting LSU defensively. You see, once they get the stop here, here's the pace we're talking about. The pass ahead, and then you see the push. LSU now has a broken defense. Look how far you have to come out for the closeout. And, of course, that's nothing but nylon from Kobe Bray. And then once it is, pass ahead. Brandon Garrison doing a nice job of getting out as a big man and finishing in transition.
A sophomore out of Oklahoma City.
No push, no violate.
You talking about playing with pace. Kentucky, second best team in the conference. You're talking about playing in transition and fast break points. Sears will walk it up. Final 30 seconds here of the first half that's been dominated by the Wildcats. Miller count the bucket and one. And the freshman out of Houston will head to the line.
And that's what you want to see, right? You want to see your freshman grow up on the road right before your eyes.
He's got 8 points, and Coach McMahon talked about how huge jumps that he has made, especially this season.
Sure. Comes from an athletic family. His father was an LSU defensive lineman. Mother played basketball at Tulane, where she was an All-American, and went to the WNBA. High expectations for Robert Miller III.
Wildcats have knocked down 6 of the last 8 shots. Away, all the way, and lays it in. And gets the steal. Largest halftime lead for Kentucky this season. 50-23 our score. We'll send it to Kevin Connors and the guys in the studio. Welcome back to Super Tuesday. It is presented by Progressive. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Started and gated Keeneland here in Lexington. Hey, the Ponies, was it April and October?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Brian Custer alongside Damian Fishback. And how about everything all Wildcats in that first half? They put up a 50-piece. Certainly helps when you shoot 60% from the field and 50% from three.
Yeah, I thought that Kentucky established their presence on the defensive end, which is what then led to the three-point shots. Kobe Bray, we mentioned him earlier, a guy who shoots 44%. Andrew Carr, another 32% three-point shooter. Brandon Garrison, 30+%. Ansley Almanor at 43%. The reason I'm saying the percentages is so you can get across, and that guy's only shooting 20%, but he made a couple in the first half. I wanted to get across the vision of Coach Mark Pope coming to fruition. Kentucky basketball has always been built around the fact that the fans want shooters. Well, they have a plethora of shooters who made plenty of three-point shots, and Otega Oweh with 15 points was the star of the first half.
The 50 points and the lead is at the half here is the largest halftime lead Kentucky has had this season. The 15-0 run they had basically to close out that first half was the third biggest run this season by the Wildcats.
I'm anxious to see Cam Carter respond. Otega Oweh read him his rights and had him in handcuffs in the first half. So I'm anxious to see if they try to get Cam Carter or George Sears going here early in the second half.
Williams hit a hot hand at one point, misses that three. Mari Williams to Andrew Carr. Slips, but Carr knocks down the jumper.
That's tough. Wake Forest transfer had some back issues, had to miss some games. You know, you have to remember that Kentucky has only had their complete team in just 7 games.
They've played 7 games, folks, this season at full strength.
And so right now, you know, they're still formulating a new identity. And Coach Mark Pope said, even though they're Miss Jackson Robinson, it's actually good because they've closed that door and they know they're going with the guys who they currently have.
Knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Kentucky.
Andrew Carr has good size, obviously at 6'11". The graduate senior has good touch as well. And you combine him with Amari Williams, their versatility on the interior is something that you have to prepare for.
Williams hands it off to Brea. He'll shoot a triple. That one's short.
Yeah. Fortunate for the LSU Tigers. Those are the type that Kobe Brea usually knocks down.
Sears gets in the lane and lays it in.
More of what you would expect, right? Jordan Sears, a guy who can manufacture points in a hurry, but I like him going to the basket, shoots above 90 from the free throw line, but doesn't get there enough.
Here's Williams. Off the glass and in.
There's just no answer for that. Not in this game. The bigs too young, too light for the Kentucky Wildcats bigs.
Williams now with 9. Miller has it at the high post, spins on Williams and knocks it down. And I think Williams took a shot in the grill.
Robert Miller III, 6'10", 120 pounds, uses that spin. Oh, it's his head that ran into the jaw of Amari Williams, but he looks to be okay now. He's shaking it off, and we'll get back to basketball.
See Robert Miller, who was inserted into the starting lineup tonight because Victorious Miller has that ankle injury, averages 3 a game. There's a foul. Cam Carter, no way, but he's in double figures tonight with 10.
Well, and what you see from Cam Carter, Brian, it's a tough night for the LSU Tigers. Nothing quite going well for him.
The previous play as to whether it's a 2 or a 3 is under review.
Cam is 1 for 6 from the field right now.
On short, Byron Jarrett over there checking out to see if it's a
After review, Kentucky number 00 will shoot 3 shots.
So Tega Owe will shoot 3.
Nice and quick that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Owe with 15 right now.
And they were looking because he took off outside of the three-point line, but obviously landed inside the line. Quick review, and now 3 free throws.
Well, on Saturday, 5 more men college hoop games, and it all starts at noon. You see these Wildcats in Missouri. You got the Sonic Blockbuster. You got Alabama, Auburn at 2:30. I know you'll be all on that one, Fish. You got Arizona and Kansas. Another Sonic Blockbuster with Cooper Flagg and Duke going on Tobacco Row with their rival, North Carolina.
Yeah, man, that's all good action. Bill Self in Kansas with 10 losses, 2 years in a row for the first time in his tenure. I still would not doubt Bill Self when it comes to tournament time. And Auburn, Alabama, Nate Oates, Bruce Pearl, and then always you've got the New Bloods now, Auburn, Alabama, and the Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
North Carolina and the Duke Blue Devils. Outstanding Saturday.
Cam Carter gets bumped.
That's his second.
Owe, that's his second.
Critical. Another opportunity for Otega Owe to learn. Otega Owe got his 3rd foul in the first 3 or 4 minutes in the last game versus Auburn, and made that second half a lot tougher for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Inside, Miller, stolen.
That's the kind of stuff you can't put a price tag on with Lamont Butler.
Challenge that one, but Carr finishes.
Now, the fans will applaud with the finish by Andrew Carr, but that's all initiated by the steal, the thievery of Lamont Butler. Lamont Butler's just laying in the weeds, and you see the freshman Robert Miller. It looked like it was open. Wanting to get that basketball to Cam Carter, but Lamont Butler just steps out there and grabs it, and Andrew Carr with the beautiful finish at the other end.
And completes the three-point play. And now if you're LSU, you think Coach McMahon is telling these guys when you are down over 30, and listen, I know there's plenty of time as Cam Carter knocks down that three.
That's one thing he's saying. Cam Carter, get hot.
Listen, these two teams played, and you had the Mardi Gras miracle there. It was a 31-point deficit.
Yep. And again, I still think that LSU has to get this game going up and down. But you think about the strength of Kentucky, which is that they scored 37 points per game in the paint, second most. And then LSU actually allows 33 points in the paint, second most. It's just what the good matchup. Just like that.
Oweh now with 20. Had a career high 28 against OU just last week.
Yeah, scored the last 18 big ones. Big win in Norman, Oklahoma.
Jumper. Short by Collins. Going right to Oweh. Williams. Rejected. Thrown away by Collins. Sears hangs. Got it.
When we've seen exciting, effective, and efficient basketball from the LSU Tigers, where has it been?
In transition.
In transition. You've got to take more pride, get blocks, get stops, there you
like
go,
that.
And get out in transition for LSU.
Step back by Brea. Butler. That's broken up. I don't know if you give that to the big man at that point. Not at half court.
Well, it's time to take a break. Getting a little sloppy here. We're going to go to break now. But as far as Otega-Oweh, off the curl, assist by Amari Williams, dunktastic by Otega-Oweh.
Well, Saturday is the final day of the SEC men's regular season. All 16 teams will be in action. SEC Network, ESPN app will have 5 of the games. Starts at noon. Mississippi State, Arkansas. You got the Red River rivalry. We'll finish up the night. Texas and Oklahoma at the Moody Center at 8. And if the tournament started right now, how about these Wildcats with a victory? We will get the bye. But then look what's meeting you in the quarterfinals. I mean, look at that row of Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida.
Yeah, historic year in the SEC, 88+% winning percentage in non-conference. When you talk about the quad one wins, it's through the roof, better than any conference. But what I'm most impressed with is you look at the first round games. You look at those first round games and you see Arkansas that knocked off a Michigan, Oklahoma that beat a Louisville, that beat an Arizona. So many quality teams that'll be playing on that first day.
That shot no good. Here comes Mike Williams in the Tiger. Joe Lenardi, bracketology. Cam. Kick out.
Oh.
Corner 3, no good.
Cam Carter went down hard.
He did go down hard.
Wow. That was a really awkward landing. good to see him walking it off. And you talk about Cam Carter. He had 16 games in a row where he had double figures. He's had 9 20-point games. And you just don't want to see anybody get hurt. So it's good to see him still up and moving around.
Here's Sears. Shot no good. Garrison the board. Plays 6 minutes here in the second half. Oh, good crossover and dime to Garrison.
Pretty basketball. Unselfish, distributing the basketball, but again, just no resistance by the Tigers. You got to fight for that name on your jersey right now.
Williams, his three's no good. Way to push it. Carr, corner.
Good look, though. Open because Colin Chandler used that back cut to create a little help, which allowed Andrew Carr to get open for that three-point shot.
My goodness. Colin just lost it out of bounds.
Otega-Oweh, nice screen and roll. Always a challenge in that middle ball screen, and you saw Cam Carter was hesitant to come over and try to defend Garrison on the ball screen because he was hugging close to Kobe Bryant. So it was a choice between giving up that layup or a potential 43-point three-point shooter. And Otega-Oweh, Andrew Carr, and Kobe Bryant will get a breather now, up 32 with 13 minutes left to go.
Well, Coach Pope is going to love, 15 assists, just 5 turnovers thus far. Man.
Yeah, it's pretty basketball, but it's also LSU just not defending at a high level tonight.
Chandler. Misses that one, Fountain the board, and here comes the Tigers.
And speaking of defending, this is where Kentucky's been most impressive to me. They've defended so much better tonight.
Jab step, 3 is no good. Chandler, Perry, guys like that are going to get some extra playing time here tonight. Here's Butler. To Garrison, very nice little pocket pass. And they get it back. And a foul on LSU. The one thing that people here in Lexington want to know, what are we going to do in March? It's hard to believe, knocked out in the first round, the first game basically,
sure.
The SEC tournament, first game of the NCAA tournament, right? This is the program that haven't played in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament since 2019. I hadn't played in basically the second game of the NCAA tournament since 2 years. So they want to see wins, and they're hoping that Coach Pope is the guy to lead them.
Well, as Ansley Almanor knocks down that mid-range jump shot, you got to think about the wins. Texas A&M, Duke, the Zags, Florida, Mississippi State, swept Tennessee. So they know that they can beat anybody in the country. The question is how healthy they will be. As Seth mentioned at the halftime, they're 15-6 with Otega-Oweh and Lamont Butler playing in that lineup.
Butler has it poked away.
We have a timeout on the floor.
From Rupp Arena, here in Lexington, the Wildcats flexing their muscle here in Lexington. .11 and a half to play here in Lexington, and it's the Wildcats on top of LSU, 66-34. And we talked about SEC tournament, which tips off next week, and you looked at the bracket at quarterfinal. These were the teams waiting in that quarterfinal, get that basically that double bye. Is basically the top 5 teams in the country. You know, you look at it.
Yeah, Brian, look, March matters, and people are going to remember what happens in March. And for these 4 SEC teams that have had phenomenal years along with the rest of the conference, I think they can make runs. Auburn, experienced, deep and complete. We talked about Bruce Pearl, National Coach of the Year. I think Florida's a matchup nightmare. When they defend, they can beat anybody in the country. Alabama with their Final Four experience with Nelson and Mark Sears. And then Tennessee, the deepest and most complete team defensively and fundamentally. They only play with 7 guys, but all 7 guys can play defensively and offensively fundamentally sound.
Long 3. Good. The freshman Colin Chandler. He's knocked down 3 of them here tonight.
These are critical minutes for Colin Chandler. If he's going to play some backup point or the shooting guard a little bit when Lamont Butler goes down, this is an opportunity for him, Trent Noah, Travis Perry to build confidence here at home.
Step back 3. Too strong by Mike Williams. Brian Custer along with Damian Fishback here at Rupp. And, you know, I've done Kentucky a number of times on the road. First time here at Rupp. Boy.
It's a little different, huh?
They love their basketball, man.
Best winning percentage, right?
Yeah.
Of all time. Accustomed to hanging banners. And Mark Pope has fit in perfectly.
He has.
A lot of questions when Coach Cal left, and I think it was good for both Arkansas and Kentucky as Lamont Butler looking as healthy as I've seen him in a long time.
I was listening to Sports Talk Radio too here in Lexington, and listen, they're excited. Does it matter at all? Because the talk was Coach Pope hasn't won in the NCAA tournament, hasn't won a game yet. Does that matter?
Well, listen, winning always matters in the state of Kentucky, whether you're at Western Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, but Big Blue Nation has different expectations. And that's why we said March matters, because as good of a season as Kentucky has had, the fans expect to go to March Madness and win a game. Plays like that with Brandon Garrison will help. Their health is going to be critical, but I wouldn't want to see Kentucky in my bracket.
I'm with you. Well, this is why I don't think there's a team in the nation that says, oh, I'm happy we got pulled that draw. I mean, look at this. These are the wins against top 25 teams. And keep in mind, 4 of those wins come against teams that were ranked in the top 5. Saw that. Duke,
Calling the floor
Florida,
is a common foul.
Tennessee
Kentucky number
twice.
10. Previous plays under further review.
Yeah, and Kentucky's a team who has a very high ceiling because of the ability to manufacture points, and that's why I listed those 4 teams earlier. Auburn, number 1 in the nation in KenPom offensive efficiency, top 12 defensive efficiency, and let's take a look at what the officials are looking at.
Yeah, when you hit that head and neck area.
Yeah, anytime it's a hit above the shoulders, but it certainly was a basketball play. The question is, wasn't it
flagrant 1?
Excessive, and Byron Jarrett looks over at us and says that it's a flagrant 1.
After further review, the play has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul on Kentucky number 10. Excessive contact to the head and neck area.
Again,
LSU number 3, LSU 2 to be there on the baseline with 20 on the shot
head and neck. When you get to the head and neck area, it's usually when they're going to upgrade that personal foul.
Yeah, I see excessive there. I wouldn't say unnecessary. He was going for the ball. It was definitely a legitimate play. It wasn't a hold or push from behind, and that's why Kentucky fans don't like it right now. But the key is they said to the head or the neck, which is the reason why I believe it was upgraded to a flagrant 1.
Couple of shots here by Givens. They'll get the basketball as well.
Another freshman that they want to make sure that they keep. Played on a national team at Montverde High School, or Montverde Academy, I'm sorry, in Florida. They went 33-0, and so that's why I say that Coach Matt McMahon wants to keep these freshmen intact. Good set.
Yep. Corner 3, good by Carter.
3-point basket by Carter.
8th point for Cam Carter.
Good opportunity for the Wildcats to work against the zone. I like the fact that it's an aggressive
picks
zone.
the pocket of Chandler. Reverse layup is no good. But that three is good. And the Almanar. Offensive foul.
So, Brian, I think it's so important because for people watching this game, you know, LSU was able to knock off of Kansas State early in the year. Then they lose Jalen Reed. Jalen Reed, the most senior player for Matt McMahon, coming back. He completed their defensive possessions with rebound, a double-digit score. Then they lose the likes of Corey Chess, an athletic young wing. And then they lose Victorious Miller from the ankle injury. And so they're struggling tonight. They're not playing with the full deck. But this is also the Kentucky Wildcats playing fabulous basketball.
Yeah. Unfortunately for LSU, you know, this season, here's a triple by Cam Carter, and he'll go to the line. Opportunity for a 4-point play. LSU 0-8 against AP-ranked teams this season. You know, that's the most without a win in Division I.
Yeah, tough. That's where Colin Chandler just has to learn. Don't want to get that close to a jump shooter. How about this? Cam Carter with his 100th consecutive college start here tonight. That's a guy who's played and started a lot of basketball games.
And knocked down a lot of threes. He came into the 4th in the SEC in threes made. Knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with Kentucky. By the way, last time Tigers made it to the Big Dance NCAA tournament 3 years ago. Played the NIT last year.
If you could have combined their ability, that's
Nice move by Almanar.
Yeah. If you could have combined LSU's non-conference play this year with their conference play last year.
Yeah, right.
But the conference has just been too good, and that's exactly what Kentucky is tonight. Is too good, Brian.
Yeah, you know, they were 11-2 talking about LSU. Oh, rejected by Williams. LSU was 11-2 in non-conference play, but it was just those losing streaks. At one point, they went, 0 for 7. They had a 7-game losing streak in conference play. As Miller lays that one in. Brea, triple. Gibbons will slow it up. Extra pass. Bailey. He misses the 3.
Yeah, iron unkind. LSU 4 of 18 from behind the three-point line. You just can't do that against a prolific offensive scoring team like the Kentucky Wildcats.
Coming down 7 minutes left in the game. John Bailey. Carter, step back, got it. Woo.
Starting to heat up a little bit.
He's got 14 now.
Had a career high 29 points in their win over Oklahoma in conference play. So important. They won't win this basketball game, but it's important for Cam Carter to see it to go through the net for the next basketball game.
Nothing but net. No way. He's got 22 now. Thrown away.
And that's going to be a flavor.
Just minutes left in this one. Kentucky all over LSU.
With a second screen buffet of options for you over on the ACC network. Georgia Tech up big on Miami. Enormous game on the SEC network for Texas. They're among Joe Lunardi's first 4 teams out. Huge quad 1 opportunity at Mississippi State. And on ESPN, it's TGL action. Tiger Woods in action for Team Jupiter as we send it back to Rupp Arena. Be cuss and fish.
Thank you, KC. Yeah, it's the Wildcats all over LSU. They took a look and, yes, upgraded that foul to a flagrant 1 on Cam Carter.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty
After review,
simple.
the play has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul on LSU number 5. Kentucky Devils will shoot 2. It'll be their ball on the baseline with 27 left on the shot clock.
It's very simple. Obviously, that was excessive. I don't think it was a legitimate play on the ball. Kind of a bear hug, and, you know, he didn't try to hurt him. But it was the correct call, and the officials got in and got out. And Otega Owe, one of the many transfers in college basketball, Brian, and one of the more impressive ones. I know you got Chaz Lanier at Tennessee, but for the SEC, I love Otega Owe and what he's done. And I think it's critical. It's how basketball has evolved.
I know Coach Pope loves what he's done tonight. I mean, he's been perfect from the line.
Yeah.
Basically perfect from the field, 9 of 11 from the field as well.
He's not the only one. Milo Suzanne of Houston, what an emotional moment for him last night. Victor Larkin at LSU, at Clemson.
I love the Richmond pickup for, what the Johnnies have done there in the Big East.
And John Tonje over at Wisconsin. That group has been sensational, as have the Kentucky Wildcats here tonight, Brian.
Almanor lays that one in. Senior night. Williams comes off a screen. Here's Sears.
Oh, nice cross.
Nice crossover. He'll go to the line.
And that's where Travis Perry has to continue to evolve, right? Young freshman, all-time leading scorer in high school history for the state of Kentucky. But he's going to get attacked, number 11 in white. And Auburn went at him. So this is a very important 5 minutes and 23 seconds for him.
Hey, Super Tuesday continues here tonight. Don't forget, you got Auburn, College Station taking on Wade Taylor, Texas A&M. As Owe gets a nice round of applause. And then you've got Arizona State, the duel in the desert tonight. Colin Chandler will check back in as Owe has a seat. Owe with 24. In and out, Garrison. Call that one Travis Perry.
You see Auburn's wins against AP top 25 and Texas A&M. A team that has also proven they can beat anyone. And I expect Buzz Williams to have a veteran team ready at Reed Arena tonight. I think it's going to be rocking, and I can't wait to see the 12th man against the regular season SEC champs, Auburn Tigers.
Almanor, the triple. 15 for him. Season high for the senior. Bailey lays it in.
Basket by Bailey.
Matt McMahon said that his team has never quit on him, that they continue to battle. That's what they're doing tonight in a very hostile environment.
Oh, good back cut by Chandler.
The balance on the series, that's his second and the team's sixth.
We often talk about cuts, but this is what you would call a vicious cut. For young high school players that want to play at the next level, it's very important that you defend, that you rebound, that you dribble, pass, and shoot. But learning how to cut hard and appropriately and at the right time is very important as well, as Kobe Brea gets another round of applause.
It's hard to believe. Just the other night, this program had, 19 turnovers? 6 just tonight, 20 assists.
Yeah, on 33 or 34 made field goals.
Here's Cam Carter, another step back three. Perry the push. Chandler. Doesn't roll. Man. Oh, good look. And Bailey blew the bunny. It's been that kind of night for LSU. .318, Kentucky knocking on 100. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Yegor Demon and BYU up next here, Sean, in a gigantic game.
Yeah, you talk about Chad Baker-Mazar, his ability to score and disrupt, coach, at either end of the floor makes him special.
He's one of the most unique talents in all of college basketball. At 6'7", can guard a point guard to a power forward, initiate your offense, and makes big threes.
There's my guy, Yegor, and let me tell you about him. He gets to the basket, he finishes really well when he gets to the paint. The problem that he's had over the course of the season, sometimes he throws the ball to the other team too much.
Never a good thing to throw it to the wrong team.
Especially when you're playing Iowa State.
The guy's got incredible vision and feel.
20 minutes away, Brian.
Looking forward to that one. That's going to be a good one. Hey, look, Coach Pope knows all about that BYU squad. And right now, according to our Joe Lunardi, they are, even with that win streak here, one of the last teams in, according to Joe Lunardi. But I've just been really good there.
Yeah, they're healthy now, and I'm looking forward to the matchup between Trey Ord, a 6'6", 240-pound veteran for BYU, against Josh Jefferson. Two big bodies, grown men going at one another.
Yeah, loose ball. Finally gathered, put in by Mike Williams.
This is what you would expect in a response from Kentucky. If you're LSU, obviously you got to pick yourself back up after this basketball game. Playing with a young team, a lot of freshmen.
Yeah.
Kentucky shot the cover off of the basketball. I mean, they average 9 threes per game. They come in and shoot 12 of 29 on the night at 41%. So you got to take more pride defensively if you're LSU. They'll learn.
Basket by Syracuse.
Travis Perry. It's been a good night for Garrison as well. He got 15. Lead pass to Collins, too far.
Had nights like this before myself. A couple of Rupp Arenas. When they had Ron Mercer, Derek Anderson, you get 20,000 fans screaming at you. You know, one of the most loyal fan bases in all of college basketball. And right now, Kentucky has given them everything that they have asked for.
Perry with Chandler. Chandler tonight has already tied his career high of 9. Come from beyond the arc. Nice step back jumper is good by George Sears.
He's another guy who can score. First team All-OVC, UT Martin transfer. They're going to need more from everybody. But if you can get him and Cam Carter going, Arthur Miller played well tonight.
Perry misses his shot. LSU take on Texas A&M this weekend. Kentucky will have Missouri to close out the regular season. So, final minute.
If you had questions, I think a lot have been answered tonight. Kentucky, certainly when they shoot the basketball like this, when they defend at a high level, can compete with anyone. They've proven that, and in spite of the health issues and injuries, they're going to be a problem in March.
Robert Miller sends that one out of bounds. Just 5 on the shot clock. Garrison will have to put it up.
New age of basketball.
Yeah,
a big guy backs up to shoot a three-pointer.
That's something.
But when you knock down a couple of them, you figure why not?
Might as well. Poked away. Noah. He's on the board to the fans' delight. Senior night successful here in Lexington. A 32-point victory for Kentucky. Well, for Damian Fishback and our entire crew, I'm Brian Custer saying so long from Lexington. Kentucky wins it 95-63 to the studio, my main man, Kevin Connors.
All right, B-Cuss domination by the Cats and Wade Taylor and Texas A&M trying to snap a 4-game skid.
Yeah, Wade Taylor, he's got to see a bigger basket. He's 6 for 30 in the last 4 games. He needs to make plays and make shots for A&M to have a shot to win this game.
Against number 1 Auburn on ESPN. Up next here on ESPN2, Sean, Richie Saunders and BYU with a potential double bye at stake.
Yeah, no need to see a bigger basket for Richie Saunders.
Really.
That dude is flat out stroking the ball, shooting 44% from beyond the arc. He's second in Big 12 in scoring in conference play. They win this game tonight, they put themselves positioned to be in the 4 seed.
All right, 16 minutes to go, but we're not done yet in Lexington, because
So it.
First time I've seen this.
Yeah,
Matt McMahon was already shaking hands with the entire Wildcat bench, and they called a foul on Brandon Garrison against Derek Fountain.
Put .2 on the clock. This is what they call here at the end. That right there. Coach Pope said, wait a minute, let me empty the bench then. Gotta get the walk-ons and everybody on.
Well, as someone who's been in the studio, we are killing some of their feel right now, Brian. Sorry, fellas. Whatever you had playing. Big Blue Nation's got a little bit more that they want to cheer about tonight. Walter Horn got a chance to get in.
Yeah. 95-64, our final. Damian Fishback, our entire crew. I'm Brian Custer. So long from Lexington.